Hi.
Hi.
Am I on the air?
Yes, you are. What's your name?
Oh, okay. Hi. My name is Alicia.
Alicia,
I'm
what's on your
Queen
mind?
on Twitter.
Awesome. Glad to have you.
Nice to talk to you. I called in a long time ago. I just have two comments. I agree with what you said about the Muslim issue because I am Muslim, and I think that all this fear and everything that's being portrayed on the news and everything about wanting to ban Muslims in the United States is very, it's horrific.
Yeah.
There's, wonderful Muslims here in this country that love America, that support each other, that support their communities. And I think that this is creating a lot of hate and decisiveness between everybody.
Yeah.
The second comment that I wanted to talk about was just a quick comment when you were talking about the Guccifer documents. The relationship between Donald Trump entering the race, he talking to Bill Clinton, and the DNC already having in the documents that Donald Trump would be who Hillary Clinton would be running against, and their strategy. That is something very interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going to come of it, if we're going to hear more documents about it or more information, but I found that very interesting.
I do too, actually. And I said something, thanks for the call. I said something earlier this summer because a lot of people felt like Donald Trump was, quote unquote, a plant. And I said this summer, we'll know if Donald Trump was a plant based on how he runs the general election. Because if he's serious about winning the general election, then he would move back to the center, or at least back away from the asinine, ridiculous, obscenely dumb right-wing fringe of America. Right? If he really wanted to win, he would move back. And I said, if he doesn't move back and he stays to the extreme right, then he doesn't want to win. And you have to ask yourself at that point, ask yourself the question at that point, why the hell is he running then? And for a fleeting moment, when the primary was over, it looked as though Donald Trump was going to move back to the center. And then all of a sudden, like clockwork, his true right wing, or whatever this is that he's pretending to be or really is, he went right back to what he's been doing in the entire primaries. And his polling has plummeted as a result. He does not want to win. You have to ask yourself the question, why is he running then? We'll see. Still time for him to move back to the center. Because if he moves back to the center and becomes the more moderate Donald Trump than this Republican bastardized version of him. He's a bastard anyway, but this is even worse version of him. If he moves back to the more moderate Donald Trump, he could legitimately win. We could be faced with the president Donald Trump, but he's not doing that. He's breaking conventional wisdom. The conventional wisdom needed to be broken in the primaries because of who the Republican Party has become, right? It worked in the primaries. It will not work in the general election. The polling is starting to bear that out. He's plummeting. And so if he's going to maintain this political suicidal course, you have to ask yourself the reason why. Why are we doing this, Donald Trump? And why are you running in the first place? Because you're not going to win. And in the meantime, in the midst of all this, in the midst of Donald Trump destroying the Republican Party, in the midst of him just making them, we could be taking over the House, we could be taking over the Senate. In the midst of all this, we could be doing so much for progressivism, and we're stuck with, girl, I guess I'm with her, Hillary Clinton.